Hey guys, Nick here from Just Few Studios, and welcome back to another trailer reaction. It's been a hot minute since we've done one of these. It's 2018 now, and I think we're starting it out right with a trailer for Antman and the Wasp, the first official trailer. I'm excited, and I'm really curious to see what direction they go with this, and honestly how much they include in this trailer, since this is going to be post-Infinity War. So that's also really interesting. But with that said, let's kind of jump right into this. I'm excited, I'm very curious, and I'm just interested right now in where they're taking this movie, because I'm rather unsure. I haven't heard a whole lot, so let's jump right into it.
I just have one question. When Cap needed help, if I'd asked you, would you have come?
Kind of the black and white.
I guess we'll never know.
Ooh, interesting.
But if you had, you'd have never been caught.
So, interesting. We'll talk about that afterwards.
And the people I love the most, they pay the price.
I've not a clue who the villain is or anything. Oh! Oh!
We're still running.
Let's go.
Interesting. So it's the consequences of civil war. Rip Anthony. Ooh. And we're gonna be seeing quite a bit of Giant Man. Who was that?
Maybe you just need someone watching your back. Like a partner.
Hey, there's the Wasp. There's the Wasp.
Hold on. You gave her wings and blasters. I take it you didn't have that tech available for me. No, I did.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That's how you do it. Okay, I'm on board. I am more than on board with this movie. Oh my gosh. So it starts off with this very kind of monochromatic, almost black and white thing of Civil War, where he's like, if I asked you for help, would you have helped me? And she's like, I don't know, it doesn't matter now, you got caught, so. It's a cute little moment there, cute little moment. So it looks like this whole little segment here is showing the consequences of him being Team Cap. The fact that he went with Cap, who was, in the government's eyes, on the wrong side of that fight. There are consequences to that, such as the FBI searching his house. Looks like his daughter was being taken away from him. Hank Pym and his daughter, the Wasp, obviously, are now on the run. So it shows that, like, Civil War, it has some consequences that they're going to have to be dealing with in this movie. They're no longer kind of the superheroes. They're almost more vigilante status right now. Which, again, it looks like we're getting even more of the craziness that was the last film in shrinking and growing different sized objects. I think that's awesome. It plays around with physics a little more, because doesn't it technically preserve mass? So he's literally carrying around the weight of an actual building. It's just smaller. So Hank Pym, he's pretty swole. He's been going to the gym or something, because my mind is trying to remember the physics of that movie, and I remember there's something being like, weight matters, and I'm pretty sure you can't do this to a normal sized building, even if it is smaller.
We're still running.
It just doesn't happen. Unless he's the Hulk. Not really.
Let's go.
Question here is, who is this with the weird hand? And they did a really good job of not showing us a villain per se, or not outright going, that's the villain right there. So it's really kind of up in the air, and I'm curious. I haven't heard anything. They probably have announced a villain. I just don't know who it is. But I'm really curious, and I'm glad, though, this trailer isn't so much centered around the villain. It's very much so about Ant-Man and now the Wasp. Their team up, their almost buddy cop movie, which I think is awesome. I think that's the perfect way to approach it. He can't do it alone. He needs her help. Oh yeah, and she's even more badass than he is. I think that's great. Glad that we're seeing more Giant Man. I remember the animated Avengers movie. It was really cool because he could only be Giant Man for so long, because growing is much more intensive on the body than shrinking or something, that movie said. So I'd love to see there be consequences to his constant change in size. Because I remember in the animated, he was always obsessed with growing bigger and bigger and bigger, or smaller and smaller and smaller. And that was granted Hank Pym's Ant-Man, who was quite frankly a dick. But like, I'd be curious to see like ramifications on this, and just different directions they can take with the Giant Man. Which I think I want to see a lot of Giant Man in this movie. I really do. I want to see, because you got the Wasp, she obviously can shrink down, so have her do small people stuff and have Ant-Man be the big Giant Man stuff, you know? I'd love to see that. Also, not a freaking clue who this is. Is this the villain? Maybe. I have not a clue. I can't tell you one way or another. If you know, please let me know in the comment section down below, though. And it looks like we are going subatomic, or at least, what is that? Yeah, no, that looks fairly subatomic. In a little submarine, so maybe they're looking for Wasp's mom, Hank's wife. I don't know. That would be pretty cool. Be pretty cool. And I'd love to have them explore that mythos of being subatomic in that super, super small size. Like, that's way smaller than an ant. I just love the fact that they're doing Ant-Man and the Wasp at that scale. I think would be really cool to see a movie about. And it could do the same thing that Doctor Strange did in explaining the magic behind it. This could be explaining the science behind going small and exploring a whole new world inside the MCU through that. And can we appreciate just how badass the Wasp is? Like, seriously. Humna, 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 humna. Just so awesome. They did the Wasp right from what I can tell, because this is just absolutely awesome. And I love that the Wasp has wings. That's classic the Wasp, and the jokes they have afterwards of him being like, so, you didn't have the wings and the other stuff, you know, when you're making my suit? And he's like, no, I did. I just didn't give it to you. Like, that, it's great that they're still at that kind of relationship. That banter is fantastic, and I hope they continue it throughout this entire movie. Also cool that she has the kind of repulsor, almost blasters, because that is another Wasp thing, is her little... In the comics, it was always kind of like a, you're really annoying them now when you start shooting them with that. It looks like in the movie, though, it's more repulsor-based. But I just remember in the cartoons and the comics and the animated movies, her blasters, again, super glad they gave them to her. They're just so like, pew, 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 pew. And like, supervillains, like, they felt nothing from it. I don't know, but I'm so glad that they gave it to her, and it's a nice little power upgrade. So that she has the wings and the blasters, and then he can go big. That's what makes them different. I want them to keep the, like, differences so they can be doing things that each have their own strengths. They're each specialized skill. And then you got a super comic booky title, Ant-Man and the Wasp. I love that yellow and red. It looks so good. But yeah, that was my trailer reaction to Ant-Man and the Wasp. Let me know what you guys thought of the trailer down in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if there's anything I missed, also let me know down there as well. And hopefully we got some more trailer reactions coming soon. I always love doing these, and it's good to be back doing them. There just weren't many trailers for a while. I think there's a Pacific Rim trailer I still have to do, and maybe a few other little things I can find. But yeah, with that said, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with all your friends, and I will see you guys on the next one. Stay classy. Later. Woo!